You know, they're just trying to enhance things for you. You know what I mean? And you got to tear up. You know, it's all around the world. We got more problems with bridges and everything like that. It's everywhere. You know what I mean? That's another thing our economy is doing. It's falling downhill because of wear and tear. You know what I mean? Just and you kept, let's say you keep adding houses,
Mm-hmm.
but the plumbing work stays the same. The sewer stays the same. After a while, what's going to happen? You're gonna have It's not going to work right because
Mm-hmm.
now it's overworked.
Yeah, it's
You know,
old
old and
material.
everything. But you can't tear up all the highways, miles and miles and miles of highways. So you got to fix the most worst. You understand what I'm talking about? You got to come and patch up where it's bad at and keep patching. Every year, somebody's going to make a ton of money because they're going to keep patching.
Yeah.
And then by the time they get done patching all the way where they're done patching, they got to start back where they started from.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
What you're saying.
That's a fact right there. But our infrastructures, they're shot. Bridges and all that. You know what I mean? The lines above ground, that's why they put lines above, below ground now. You know what I mean? All these trees hanging out over the lines and stuff like that. Something like a small tornado come through here, it'll be months and months, maybe years before they reconstruct it. Put the lines back up and all, everything. You figure, neighborhoods there out in Arkansas and all places when they get blown down, it takes a lot of time. Everything is scattered everywhere, but those people come back and try to rebuild back again. Some of them 3 or 4 times they don't put their houses back together. They just won't go nowhere.
They just feel such a connection
That's
to
where
it.
they've been and they keep on. But imagine what they pay for insurance.
Yeah,
Yeah, imagine what they pay for that.
a lot.
That's not free.
Yeah, no.
You know? Here, basically, everything is at a good price. It's a beautiful place. You know what I mean? It's a beautiful place. And a lot of times, a lot of people come here, come in the house, come in here, and they come back. You know what I mean? They enjoy themselves. They come back. In fact, when I had a big party not too long ago, and it was half and half white because I work at a place. I've been there 24 years. I'm 69 years old. I've been there a long time. I'm riding the road, I'm riding the station. I've been cleaning it for 26 years.
Mm.
I'm the only black guy in there. You understand what I'm talking about?
Hmm.
But that's been like that all the time. Never had no problems. Never had no problems at all. Beautiful job. Everybody's friendly. You know what I mean? It's just, I say it's the way you carry yourself.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Yeah, there's really no difference. Everybody. I got in an accident years ago, and I had about 9, 10 blood transfusions. Whose blood did I get?
You don't know.
You don't know. They didn't put no difference on who the blood was. You understand? But I know it worked.
Yeah.
It saved my leg. You understand what I'm talking about?
Mhm.
That's how I look at. That's how I look at it.
Wow. I mean, that's a pretty.
Nah, there's no. If you look at that room in there, my brother married a white girl. My sister married a white man. My grandfather was white. You know what I mean? And that's my grandfather. That's my mother and father.
How do you feel about all the college students moving into the
Nah,
community?
sooner or later it was going to have to happen. It made no difference. Who it was, it was going to happen. You know what I mean? Next street over, they gonna tear down all. They gonna build a condominium or riding the road. They build all of that. Used to be all vacant down there. You know what I mean? It's just, it's just going to happen. A matter of time. Time changes all things. You know what I mean?
Do you think, as time goes on, this community is just going to shrink?
Yeah, because all the older folks are going to die. Younger folks ain't gonna be able to stay here. Because they're not like the older. They don't like these people don't like to work no more. You know what I mean? It's always somebody gonna give them something in life. It's not like that anymore. You know what I mean?
Mm.
It used to be they say good things that used to be old saying good things come to those who wait. Good things now is good things come to those who reach out and grab. You can't wait no more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you gotta have a job. You gotta want to work. It ain't gonna work. You know what I mean? 2 or 3 days, you gotta have a job. Then you gotta have benefits if you go to the hospital. You gotta have a job. You know what I mean? That's the thing about it. And it's not only here, it's everywhere. You know what I mean? They get the idea they can do this and do this. It don't work. It don't work. You got to have it. You got to have an outlook on life too. You know what I mean? My son left at 18, never been back. There's his grandkids right there, all 3 of them. That's my grandkids. They all go to Catholic school. You know what I mean? They all go to Catholic, and they straight A students.
If you could change one thing about your community, what would it be?
I'd leave it like it is. I wouldn't want to change something. I'd leave it like it is.
Being here for 68 years, I'm sure you've seen a lot and, you know, heard a lot. What do you think was the most important thing that's ever happened in your lifetime?
Here? Let me see.
Even historically, too.
I would say the park. There was the park up there. You know what I mean? But see, I was there. There was a center there.
Oh, really?
Years ago, it was a center. We built a center. I would carry water up there for the guys, Sport Harmony and Mr. Harmony. They built the center, and we were supposed to maintain it. But that's how it got out of whack. People wouldn't go up there and cut the grass. Then the building started getting. You have dance and everything. Pretty soon, bam, it was all raggedy. Township coming. If the township didn't come and tear it down, then the township gave them time to get this playground back. They said, well, 5 years, you know, and if you don't do anything within 5 years, we'll take it. We'll take over. And the township took over. Now, with the township digging their own grass and my fence up there, you know what I mean? They maintained it real nice. So it was a better deal. You know, the old folks would put in, but as the younger folks come along, they weren't watching the kids, and things started to happen. But it was a nice building. They had dances up there and everything before they put where the park is. Yeah.
Why do you feel that it's getting to this point? You know, why? What do you think the reason is that the community's going downhill?
Because it takes a lot of money to survive here. You know what I mean? You know, taxes are getting more and more expensive. You know, and then if you ain't keep the upkeep, like I said, you got to get it, you know, the upkeep's got to be brought up. Sooner or later, the man may come through and say, you got to have codes, you know, you got to go up to codes. What happens then? He walks in your house, you haven't changed the electric. You know what I mean? Sooner or later, that's going to come too. That's for your safety. Keep your house from catching on fire.
Oh, yeah.
You see what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
All that's going to happen. That's no fault of yours. You took what was all right for granted. And you kept adding stuff to it. Air conditioners, you know, TVs, all that stuff that the wire may not be equipped for. You know what I mean? That's the problem.
Yeah, because they're faulty wires that haven't been changed in years.
Yeah, sure. Insurance company refuse to insure it. You know what I mean? All that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
It's just it's slowly expiring. Time's run out.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like anywhere else. You know what I mean? Not only here, anywhere else. Berwyn, the same way. Paoli, same way. Ardmore, same way. Time's running out. Things just, you know, the old folks, they didn't make that much money, but they did manage to save something. You know what I mean? And they're dying off. And the something's gone that they left. You know what I mean? The only thing that was left was that you couldn't put the house in the grave. You know what I mean? And you still can't put it in the grave. You know what I'm saying? If you died 25 years ago, you still, the Baptiste, let's say he's a funeral. He can bury you, but he can't bury the house. So you have to leave it somewhere, you know what I mean? And then second of all, when you leave it, you got to have the paperwork straight. You know, if it go from hand to hand. Because if you don't, you got inheritance tax and all that. Like a lot of people don't have that money to pay their inheritance tax. And all that stuff, all the loose ends got to be tightened. A will, you got to have all the loose ends tightened up when you die, because everything is shut down. Your bank account's shut down, everything is coming to you, get a lawyer to straighten it out. You know what I mean? That's the problem. Let me see what it is. Excuse me.
Yeah, no problem.
What the neighborhood is, yeah? Beautiful place it is. Well, Mark, you gone? I'll be out 2 minutes going to Forest Park. Yeah, but that's the beautiful place of it. It's just time's coming. It waits for no man or woman. You understand what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It's just a change is going to be. Yeah, and poverty wasn't set up like this forever. You know what I mean? Because the kids, my son didn't want to live here. You know what I mean? He wanted to branch out, one of the fancy homes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what happens. But see, he's a working man. And that's the thing. Even though he stayed here till he was 18 years old.
Mm.
You know?
This is where he's grown up too.
Yeah. So that's the situation. I guess, doing better is doing better.
Well, I like to thank you for
Oh,
taking this
no
time
problem.
with me
No
today.
problem. That's my pleasure having you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you want, I can send you a copy of this video if you like.
All right, you can send me a copy.
Yeah. All right. I'll send. Do you have an email
Yeah.
at all?
No, I do have an email. It's right here. Let me give you.
All right. This is a report for ECG 200 Democracy and Diversity. I'm here with Mr. Alan Brown, a resident of Mount Pleasant. How long have you lived here?
68 years.
68 years. Wow, that's a long time. How many generations of your family?
1, 2, 3. 3.
3 generations. Wow. I guess you've seen a lot here, and you're a big part of this
Oh yeah.
neighborhood's history.
Oh yeah.
How were times back in like the 1960s during all the racial rights movements and all the protests?
It was good. But initially, here, that it was barren land. There was none of all these other houses around. And my mother and my dad and them, they had to work for the white folks. They were like, this was a place you could have them here. Well, nobody here was barren land almost. So they could work for them. And my mom did days work. My father, he finally got a job as an aircraft inspector. And by that time, but jobs were hard to get. And there was only one bank that you could borrow money from. That was Berwyn Trust. Nobody, you couldn't get no money from nowhere else at that time but Berwyn Trust.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and they was only lending out $3,000. It's most you could get for a house.
Oh, that's the most
that they would give you.
Oh,
If you were on across what's the name, you could get 5,000. Across Fresh Road when they started building the new bricks home there, but here you only get 3,000.
How important is this community to you?
Very. Been a long time.
Mm.
My son, he lived here. He left and went to the Marines with 18. No, that's my grandson. My son's in there. And
yeah, I saw the picture there.
yeah, Marines,
yeah.
and he left there. Then he came back and became a state trooper. And I knew he had to go to college. He graduated from Conestoga. And my brother, my sister, we all graduated from Conestoga back years ago. But at that present time, Conestoga really didn't have black folks in there hardly. It was predominantly all white because this used to be the school right here.
All right.
This used to be right here with our office building. That was a school.
Oh, wow.
My brother went to that one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And
then they moved to Stratford. They made Stratford Elementary. Then they went to Berwyn, TE, and Conestoga.
Okay.
And left for time. But I can't say everybody here was friendly, real friendly. You can leave your stuff outside. You can leave nobody really breaks in. You may get a little something every now and then, but that's somebody that straggles into town.
Yeah.
And a lot of people left here, but when they left here, they went out and they got in trouble, lost a job, but they could come back here, and Sandy across the road would always give them a job, and they would always feel at home. This is a place you could always feel at home.
So you just felt at ease.
Yeah, and the neighbors could come by and say, I need to go somewhere. You could hand them the car keys to your car and say, well, go ahead, I'll see you when you come back. That's the kind of neighborhood it is.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, that takes a special.
Yeah, it's basically the same way all these years. But I will say one thing: when their grandmothers and grandfathers die, it dropped down quite a few notches. Them are the ones that kept things going. You know what I mean? Kids today now, they come up and a lot of them, they want to rap. They don't want to work. They want to go to school because they get in trouble. They can't go to school because they get in trouble before they get out of school. It's hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand. It's even more challenging nowadays because it's so like much competition. I feel to strive to be the best.
That's right. But my son, I was determined he was going to college. He went to St. Joe's. got a master bachelor in MBA offer. He's 41 years old. He's a major in the military.
Oh wow.
But see, he left here when he got out of school. He left here 4 days after he got out of school. The military come got him. He had already signed up.
Damn.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now basically between then his mom got him a job at Smith Klein. She was there 38 years. Between for his education, which was $275,000, between the government and Smith Klein, they paid for every dime of it. Didn't cost him a penny.
Wow.
You know what I mean? You know how you get a loan, then you got to pay for this for the next 15 or 25 years or 30 years,
No.
and then you don't get the job that your profession's in. You get disgusted. Well, that never happened.
Wow.
Right. Now he works for the federal government also in Maryland.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What does he work for?
He works for Smith the Feds down at Langley there.
Oh,
Right.
okay. How do you feel about your community nowadays?
Good. I still say it's good.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Is there any problems?
Well, you know, you got to get accustomed. Let's put it like this. I always been friendly with everybody. I worked on a car, I work on a car, I clean cars. I'm always outside. I know everybody. Problem arose when it was predominantly, see, years ago, I used to come home from school, and it was an Italian family that they were called, their names were the Pasquales. And they had a house down there where Fatso Bird lived now, across from Barbara Bird's house over there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, every day you come home, I used to go down there and cross the road next to Mamie Bird's house. There was a big field. That was all field. Well, they had goats and chickens and everything. Well, I used to go from school. He went to Lower Marion. Upper Marion. I went to Conestoga. So I used to come home and go down there and help him take the goats from across the street and all that to take them over to the pasture. And at that time, it was at the end of the road. There was a people don't even know about that. There used to be uh, um, a junkyard. It was where you dump your trash at the end of the road where the turnaround down there. That always used to be a trash dump down there. And the guy's name was Frank Sherrick that had it. People don't even know about that, most of these people. And you had Bill Lane, Joe Johnson, Mr. Johnson down the road. They all had trash routes.